Hello everyone, as with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And right now, everybody says the market is fearful, but I think the market is also confused because every single day I see all these different price predictions for XRP and other cryptocurrencies. So people are like, well, how high is it going to go? Where would it top off? And the reality is nobody knows how high XRP is going to go. We're just going to watch it play out in real time very soon. And like you see here, XRP hasn't broken into price discovery for 2,922 days and counting. And when somebody looks at this, right away they're like, oh, well, XRP is boring. Yeah, it's boring until this happens or this happens. Most of the time, XRP tends to trade sideways. Maybe it has a dip here and there or a small price rise here and there. But the reason that you hold through all of this is to get to the exciting times. And that shows you that XRP is absolutely due. And this run is going to be way bigger than 2017, 2018. King Valix posted this, and I was shocked by this because he's usually one of those guys who say, well, all these people with their crazy price predictions, yet he's showing a chart where XRP goes to $100 and beyond. I still believe we are down here in that 2017 run. I don't even think it began yet. I still think we're waiting for this to play out. But like I said, you see predictions into the hundreds of dollars. Other people are predicting $1,000 plus. Crypto Bull says the next impulse will take XRP to $11 and the last wave to $70. The price pattern is copying the previous bull run. Only difference is time, which makes sense as we need longer accumulation for higher prices. And I agree with that. The longer we go sideways, the higher we go. And $70, that's a conservative prediction for most people. But I was originally predicting $27. Then all of a sudden, we got the ETFs, and that changed everything. Plus, we're on the verge of institutional adoption and tokenization amping up all throughout the rest of this year. So I do believe $70 is possible for XRP. And who knows, maybe we hit $200-$300 because anything can happen. This cryptocurrency was built to move anything of value. And then you also have CZ and Tom Lee and everybody else out there on the mainstream media news now calling for a super cycle. Take a listen.
I don't trade
at all.
I don't trade. I hold Bitcoins. I hold BNB.
Okay.
I don't do day trading. I don't buy and sell. I don't try to time the market. I'm just not good at that. Years ago, like 10, 20 years ago, I tried that. Lost money. Just figured I'm a developer. I build systems. I don't trade.
So do you have any thought, though, real quick, on just like the price of Bitcoin and where this is all headed? Do you think we're in a winter, a summer cycle? Are you with Kathy Wood, who thinks it's going to turn into $1 million a coin?
So whenever people ask that question, I always got to ask them, what's the time frame you're looking at? If you're looking at today, tomorrow, or a daily basis, there's no way I can predict. If you look at a 5-10-year horizon, it's very easy to predict. We're going to go up. If you look at a 1-year horizon, which is like what the most of the common right. Framework is, 2026, I'm not sure. You may be, I think I have very strong feelings that it will probably be a super cycle.
Be a super cycle.
And as they're calling for a super cycle, I'm calling for a utility run. Because the institutions, they're going to open up a ton of utility for XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, and so on. Bitcoin, in my opinion, most likely this will be the last major run for Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's not going to go up, but you're not going to see these parabolic runs like we've seen in the past. I think it's going to start to stabilize. You're going to see price movement of maybe 5 to 20%, but I'm really not seeing Bitcoin staying relevant in a utility-driven world. This comes from Chad Steingraber. Every state of the U.S. will have a crypto reserve fund. The U.S. federal government will have a crypto reserve fund. Every country in the world will have a crypto reserve fund. Every corporation in the world will have a crypto reserve fund. The ETFs are just one source. And he's citing what's going on with the state of Kansas right now. And I totally agree with that. I think crypto's the future. I think states are going to take advantage of it. I think the U.S. government will take advantage of it. I think everybody's going to want to have it on their balance sheet over the coming years. I think we're going to see more treasuries created, not just for Bitcoin, but for XRP, because that's becoming a thing now. And once they start utilizing XRP, all it takes is 2 banks to do it. All of a sudden, that sets off that network effect. Everybody will be using XRP. Then the narrative will shift quickly. Everything will be talking about how cross-border payments are now cheap and fast because this bank is doing it and that bank is doing it. The mainstream media will not be able to ignore it. And that's why I don't see Bitcoin being relevant in the future. I already think it's on the path to being irrelevant. But remember, when these states are doing this, who holds the licenses? Ripple does. And they keep making more acquisitions as well. Those licenses are the rails inside the United States for XRP to run on. That's the U.S. rail system. And Ripple, they captured almost every single state. And there's no sign of slowing down. Every single state, Ripple will have a money transmitter license in that state. It's just a matter of time. CZ, young people shouldn't oversave or shouldn't reinvest resources in themselves and should reinvest resources in themselves. Take a listen to this clip. It's a great clip.
How can I learn what you are learning so I can be closer to the sort of opportunities that you are exploring?
I just read books, really. So that's my main way of learning. And also learn to risk manage. So the information is out there. For younger people, you can take a slightly higher risks because you have power to earn in the future. You don't have to save too much. And save because your earning power when you're younger is lower. So you should try to reinvest in yourself. Reinvest mainly in learning, in building up your skills. Investing in yourself is always good. That doesn't mean you party every day. That's not investment. That's just enjoying life too early. Doing that too early is usually not good. Delayed gratification does work. So the longer you can delay gratification, the bigger gratification you most likely will have in the future. And also learn core skills that you can apply. The world is changing very quickly. Learn about AI, learn about programming, learn about marketing, any skill that you can valuable in a team. I highly recommend people to learn about entrepreneurship and being part of it, etc. So I think that's the future. The future belongs to innovators and entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur doesn't mean you always have to be the CEO. You can be like the head marketing guy, or even the second marketing guy, or one of the tech leads. All of that you can be part of a valuable team. That's what I encourage people to learn. Also, financial literacy is very important. Schools do not teach you financial literacy. So you have to go online. There's plenty of information on YouTube, but it's just scattered all over the place. There's plenty of books you can read. There's plenty of people you can talk to.
He's 100% right. The younger generation, if they're going to go to college or they're going to go to a trade school, what they need to learn is AI, robotics, so they could stay ahead of the AI curve. But take notice, he also said that schools don't teach finance. every single school should be teaching finance, and everybody should always invest in themselves. I always see people saying, when I cash out XRP, I want to start my first business. I want to start this type of business or that type of business. And I always encourage people to do that. But AI is rising right now. And if you don't stay ahead of that curve, you are going to end up on universal basic income. That is for sure, because there is no slowing this down. That was the whole center of attention at Davos. That's what everybody was talking about, AI and tokenization. And that's going to be the future. UK political leader calls out the Central Bank of England at Davos for falling behind on Bitcoin and crypto. Take a listen to this.
I mean, take the whole world of cryptocurrencies and crypto trading, and we are just lagging so far behind many other parts of the world, and yet the FCA don't want to know, frankly, the Bank of England don't want to know. I mean, there was even a proposal from Bailey just recently to restrict the number of stable coins any individual can hold. So you see, I'm talking about having people, the governor of the Bank of England, I'm not questioning the independence of it. What I am saying is that we need a new, more innovative approach to all of this.
Okay.
If we don't...
And I totally agree with that, because these countries, if they don't get something in place, they are all going to fall behind one after another. The U.S. is lagging on regulations right now. And then you see this. The UK just moved to fully integrate crypto firms into the FCA rulebook. So they are planning to now start pushing forward. Now, a couple of years ago, they seemed to be getting the upper hand on the United States. They were pushing full steam ahead, and then for some reason, they just started to slow down. And that gave the U.S. a chance to play catch up. But Biden was still running the crypto crackdown at the time. So, of course, again, nothing got done in the U.S. If we don't stop dragging our feet, the U.S. is not even going to be relevant inside this crypto push and this AI push and the tokenization push. Every time they want to get something done, it seems like it's just delay after delay. Why markets focus on XRP price but ignore its underlying structure. And here's the key points of this article. XRP has traded sideways for over a year, while most debate short-term price moves instead of long-term value. Commentators warn that price-only thinking leads many holders to sell too early and miss XRP's bigger role. Long consolidations fuel doubt, but history shows XRP often breaks out suddenly after patience wears thin. Analysts say XRP moves without warning, so investors are either positioned early or forced to chase later. That's why I always tell you on red days, just do nothing or buy the dip. Don't ever sell on a red day. And you always want to be positioned in XRP, because this breakout is going to literally come out of nowhere. When everybody's waiting for a catalyst or some big announcement, XRP is just going to break out, and people are going to be like, oh, what caused the breakout to happen? And then you'll realize it's just how XRP works. It breaks out when nobody expects it. And if you stay focused on the chart all day long, you will eventually sell your XRP. You will get frustrated listening to all these people, these doom and gloom guys, telling you, oh, it doesn't look good in 2026. It doesn't look good in 2027. Just come back in 2028. You know, these people, doom and gloom sells. And that's why they are such negative people. When in fact, you know, they're spreading negativity, but they're still holding on to their XRP at the same time. But they're shaking out new people. They're shaking out people that don't understand what XRP is, what they're actually holding. And that's the worst part of it. You know, I always am optimistic and positive on where XRP goes from here. It's only going up. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.